We're sorry for missing it. Maybe it just came in, maybe it came in earlier, but Iltis77 just donated us $250 to throw another Ladder Heroes show match. So, fucking round of applause for Iltis_77, guys. $250 is $250. What this does mean is the show match, kind of like what you saw earlier in the week, the group stage style show match, we may be able to try and repeat if players are on board for that. So, thank you, sir, for more awesome potential content, but also for the players, because now they get a chance for some more cash. Now, I want to stress, by the way, with this whole Battle of the Ladder Heroes show match thing, guys, we're really trying to promote the players who are willing to help, lay down the groundwork, build this from the bottom up. They actually paid in €50 each to create the first month's prize pool. We threw in another a couple €100 on top of that, but we're going to be providing these show matches on the sides as well. And thank you, Iltis, for helping us do that. And man, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get into it though. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, we have our Root Gaming captain himself. It's going to be none other than Root Genius, aka Root Catz. Twitch.tv/RootCatz.
The bottom right, as the blue Terran, is uThermal.
I wonder where the name Mad Mark came from.
Maybe it's French for Mad Max.
Actually, they do have names that kind of translate like that, right? Like, would Mark be Max in French?
I do wonder. Like when you took foreign classes in high school and you had to choose like your foreign name. So like Jessica is probably like a name found in like France, but I choose like some other like stupid like very French sounding name. Did you have to do that?
No, I did not. But I think I would just go with like straight up like cliche. I would call myself Pierre or something,
Yeah, that's what most people
Francois.
did. Yeah. For my Korean class, all I had to do was learn how to like write my name, and like luckily Jessica is actually pretty easy for Koreans to pronounce, so I got lucky for that one. But we do have something kind of important going on. First of all, as you pointed out, like cross positions would be the best for Catz, and that's what happened. So good job, RNG. Second of all, Catz is gonna go ahead and go for one base, like very fast speed. It's gonna be very surprising. It's probably gonna catch uThermal's CC off guard.
Well, not only that, but I feel like he's just been taking so much damage from the Reapers in all 3 games that this kind of, objectively speaking, if you know nothing about the players or nothing about the styles or even the meta of the game, you've got to be thinking like, okay, I'm new to StarCraft 2. This guy took a lot of damage from Reapers. How does he stop the Reapers? This is one way to do that.
Okay. So I thought uThermal was scouting what he did. He was going to put the CC on the high ground. Like, that's a pretty easy response to this. But he just throws on a factory instead. So he's going to get faster Hellions. And he'll throw down a CC, of course, like, just later on. But he's going to have those Hellions fast enough that he won't be stuck, contained in his main base forever.
Sweet, not done just yet. Almost gets the Reaper, though. Good thing uThermal was paying attention.
Already I kind of feel like Catz is in a very bad position.
Yeah, well, not so bad just yet, but to speak on the strengths of the cross-spawn powers of this map, and I really don't think this should be underestimated. If you guys listen to any of the Terran players, like, everybody's got their balance wines, and everyone's got their QQs, but with their weaknesses. Every particular race hates Widow Mines because X and Y reasons. But I think one of the key things... Whoa, okay, that's a bit awkward.
Luckily, it doesn't matter that much.
Actually, kind of, because you can't land it and build Hellions to deal with the Lings so easily.
You can land it now. Oh, not anymore. Well, this is actually getting a little worrying, because now the Lings that did have to travel across the map...
are they going to get here? Are they going to get here? No, okay, not quite.
Very close. Very. Even then, only 4 more Lings would be dealt with 2 Reapers. There's no way that Catz is really going to do any damage.
No, probably not. But so we're going to talk about the strength of cross spawns here. That's one of the things I was kind of alluding to. Where objectively speaking, whether you hate Terran, love Terran, or if you are Terran, cross spawns tends to be very unfavorable for players who have uThermal's playstyle, where they kind of rally. You've got 13 Marines, you got a bunch of Hellbats, you're just trying to rally across the map with them. This is a great map first off to get cut off on. If you bring your Mutalisks and swoop by, you cut off the reinforcements as they pop out one at a time. Secondly, the actual reinforcement path itself takes so long to get across the map. It actually gives Catz plenty of time for that larva production to kick back in, for that next wave of units to be out, or the Banelings to finish morphing. There's a lot of pluses for Zerg players on this map, but it's not OP. It's not like they've got some crazy terrain advantage. It's just the length that is cross makes this a little bit hard to manage sometimes.
Which is why I really wish the Catz just played a very solid macro game. uThermal hasn't really changed it up, do any of those fast, cheesy tactics that I brought up earlier in the last game. So he could have gotten away with the fast third hatch and, the lack of a Baneling Nest for a long time and done really well when the attack happened. Now he kind of took a hit from that early, economic, pushback, going for a pool first and that speed. He only pushed uThermal's back a slight bit. Like, the orbital is only making now, and it did only just land in the natural. So maybe it was still worth it. I don't know. It'd be very, slight differences.
As much as there's, that silly little bit with the legs, can you imagine if they had killed that reactor? Like, how devastating that would have been to the opener?
That would have been really bad.
So, I mean,
really...
there's always that what if in Catz's, choice to not play just the quick 3-hatch or macro game or whatever. And I think that's one of those scenarios where it could have paid off really well. Sadly, it didn't here, but again, just trying to get into the mind of Catz right now.
Yeah. I do like that he's going for faster mutas again. Just not the fastest that you ever can do, but just, before his upgrades. In that, it is Infernal Pools. One of the things that they can do to circumvent what you were talking about, like that rally push, having to go across the map, taking forever, is they can just load up in 2 medevacs and go for a drop. Like, they can try and get away with that. With faster mutas, they shouldn't be able to.
The mutas are going to be good, but I almost wish we'd see that style that was more Baneling oriented. Less mutas, more Banelings type thing. Especially with the fact that his opponent doesn't... Yeah, I don't think we've seen Wind Mines at all out of uThermal this series, right?
I don't think so.
Transfuses are usually nice, but it's... they're good at buying time for round 2. Now, uThermal's going to back up out of this and cast a couple things reinforced, but these queens are kind of in a dangerous spot.
Well, the mutas are about to come out, and they'll be able to clean up everything that's on the ground here. We have a Viking on the way. I like this choice, which is why I also, again, like the mutas faster, is that the Viking should only get 1 or 2 overlords, right? And once that's down, just spread your overlords again, and drops, which is basically the only thing you have to be really afraid of, shouldn't get away with anything.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is, scouting with the overlords is huge. You'll see some players like Pult, they'll pick off 4 or 5 of that Viking, you kind of laugh, you're like, oh, that's a Pult thing to do, but really, it can be devastating. Not seeing those drops coming is why they're so hard to react to. It's not difficult for Catz to pre-position Lings and deter a drop in the first place if he knows it's coming.
Not rolling off his natural entirely? Alright. Okay. Well, the Baneling Nest is finally on the way. It did take a while, so the Baneling speed's also going to be pretty delayed.
Thinking, was it Maru? Was it on the Infernal Pools?
Well, that was because, say, the missile turret isn't there. That's what Maru did.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's funny.
Supply depot.
This Overlord flies into a turret. That's a bit awkward. Ugh, that's not how you should probably lose an Overlord, I think.
Well, it should probably remind Cat to go ahead and Overlord speed. Well, as you said, though, there hasn't been Widow Mines, so maybe he is not getting that on purpose. Interesting.
Yeah, he was going for those Hellbat styles, but oh man. Zombie Crow.
See? Okay. See, oh my god. We talk about Ling, the possibility of Ling run-bys all day long never happens. Or kind of does laugh as Supply Depot finally freaking happens. Okay, it doesn't do that challenge.
Yeah, he actually cleans this up pretty nicely. I gotta give it to him. Thought that was gonna go way worse than it did.
Yeah. It would have been such a better maneuver to do when he knew that the army was already across the map, Now, hopefully uThermal will fill that gap. No? Really? Okay.
Maybe it's just the sickest bait. He wants Catz to keep coming back so he can do that over and over again.
Yeah, invest in the only 2 Widow Mines he'll ever get in that game and place them right there.
Pretty much. Checking for the gold. Catz is on his way to take that next. Gold base on this map really dangerous to take because Terran players got that cliff to abuse. Just sit up here all nice and, I mean, you can wrap around and get up there, but for the most part, a drop is a drop, and it's a safe drop up there.
Oh, the mutas find the Hellions. Those would want to be, adding on to the Hellbats count as the game continues. The armory was a little late, so 2-2 isn't cleanly on its way already, and of course these couldn't turn into Hellbats quite yet.
Mutalist, please.
Control from Catz. His 1-1 is about to finish.
Well,
yeah, and the speed is not done.
Speed for the Banelings, I think, is the biggest problem for him right now. If there's a way to just buy another 30 seconds, that'd be perfect. But I guess if you're gonna compensate, just go for a lot of Banelings. That works too.
Yeah, I think he's okay, because that wasn't a case where uThermal knew he was gonna win if he pushed on a creep. If he pushed on a creep, he's just asking you to die. So clears up some creep. goes away, and now Catz is gonna have 1-1, that speed, and the game goes on. But it's not looking so hot just because uThermal's already like 20 supply ahead. That's a little bit surprising, but again, they did open up a little weird.
Yeah, but this is, I think, that classic getting into mid-game TVZ where the Terran player is going to be up in supply, and sometimes we see that supply suddenly spike up. You're like, wow, all of a sudden they're up 50 supply, that's game. But I think with the amount, like the quantity of banelings Catz has and his wonderful creep spread to complement them, he should be able to take on pretty decent engagements, because again, I really want to stress, there's no Widow Mines.
This is the way that you're supposed to play against Hellbats, just like mass banelings.
Yeah, well, I mean, to explain like this well for this, guys, one of the big things about the Hellbats, you might wonder, like, okay, well, he's winning the series, why are you guys criticizing this? Hellbats can be good, but they've got a really low high-end potential, whereas Widow Mines can sometimes be, like, insane, God mode, break those units David Kim in half, please, and then sometimes they're absolutely garbage. They're a gamble, and that's why some players don't like playing with them. By going for this many Hellbats, uThermal guarantees effectiveness to an extent where they can soak the damage of the banelings. But he doesn't really have a good way to deal with Mutalisks. So Catz, not really going to a Mutalisk heavy, might be a problem for him. But still, lots of banelings is a good way to deal with this. No question about it.
Yeah. Well, he'll always have that option, you know? He's deflected, you know, a couple of pushes that otherwise would have been clearing up more creep or, you know, setting up for a drop, too. Really taking any damage. The gold base is now secured, although it's not mining that gas. And funnily enough, as opposed to that overgrowth game, this time Catz is rolling a lot of gas. 39 more banelings on the way. Holy.
Oh, Jesus. Root Jesus.
Like, I know, like, there's, like, you know, you want a lot of banelings, but this might be overkill. I don't know. Maybe not.
He can't. Okay, I like that he pulls back. He can't really overextend off of the creep. Mutalisk, please pick up that Banshee. She's going to pick off so many banelings if we're not careful. But it's that rally we're talking about before, guys. A little bit hard for uThermal to get his whole army across the map, so Catz is just kind of overwhelming with the banelings. With 82 drones for economy behind us, he can certainly keep replacing these over and over and over again. The problem is, though, because he doesn't really have a high Mutalisk count, everyone he bleeds out, it really hurts. He's lost pretty much all the units at this point. Go for Corruptors instead. This is not a horrible choice. We've seen this. We've seen players pull this off before. Impact, I think, was the first player we ever saw. It was Joshi that one fateful night. But since then, I've not really seen a lot of players go for Corruptors to be the anti-air. But I mean, they are anti-air.
I think Dark really convinced a lot of people. You know, we had a couple of Pro League games where we were like, that's interesting. But with IEM just finishing up, I think a lot of Zerg players have just been like, yes, we're going to try that. Let's do it. Kind of like what I guess when like Swarm Host were first revealed to be really good by Snoot. We had a couple of people try it, but we'll see how it works out. You know, Corruptors, of course, they're slower, so sometimes like multiple drops might be hard to deal with. But they're beefier, so they can actually stand over like a a handful of Marines and not just die stupidly, and they will take down the medevacs.
So I'm definitely liking this heavier baneling style. I'm still not sold on no mutas at all, because it means there's been no harass going on in this game.
I'm not too sure if I do like it, just because he lost a fourth, which I really think was supposed to happen. He had so many banelings. I thought that fourth was going to be so safe. He was going to crush uThermal's army, and I was like, well, that's why no one goes Hellbats anymore. But that didn't happen. He was kind of like scared to commit. Where usually when it comes down to Hellbats versus banelings, it is all about that committal. Like, I'm just thinking back to King Sejong when Hellbats were like kind of popular still. It was all about that one final push.
Thank God he scanned to see this coming. Takes up the tech loss with banelings. Not a bad choice, but back at home, gotta pay attention. He's pre-split, but even with these pre-split, that's so many banelings. However, it looks like they're getting the Marines to get the job done. Wow!
Yeah, they
wow,
are.
Did he just really do that? Picks up with the Marauders in the Hellbat as well. Keeps what little there was in danger alive. More banelings coming out of Catz, but he just exhausted his whole army. He got pretty much nothing for it. This is match point. He's got to find a way to hold on to this. He can't afford to lose this game or the show match is over.
Well, I hate to say this, but he is going to lose the game. He's already down by 50 supply.
Like that, yeah.
We have uThermal going on and creep again because he knows that he can. The banelings are scary. 13 more on the way. They come trying to roll in, but the splits again.
Yeah, seriously, Maru Thermal's making a lot of sense, guys. He is microing like a god.
In these Corruptors, you know, they did die. I thought that was the most surprising thing about all these fights is that since they killed so few Marines, the splits were so good that the Corruptors, usually beefy, usually living after the engagements, well, they all went down.
Well, congratulations, uThermal. He's going to win the show match.